19 past 8, Don Brash, former Reserve Bank Governor, joins us now. Don, great to have you here. And Amber Peebles, Remix Magazine editor, is with me too. Amber, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
You're our panel this morning. Let's start by talking Greenpeace and this protest. Secretly, Don, do you have a little bit of admiration for people who feel passionately about something and are actually putting themselves on the line to do something like this?
Yes, I do. But solar energy is a funny thing to sort of focus on for New Zealand. Most of our energy is, in fact, drawn from renewable sources, either hydro or geothermal. So solar for New Zealand doesn't seem to make much sense.
One of the issues, of course, and they're drawing this out much more, and they're saying that obviously the government, this is not a government that has climate change policies at hand. They obviously, one of the specific things they've talked about are licenses for mining off the coast, for oil exploration and things like that. How do you feel about this protest, Amber?
Oh, I mean, I don't even know what to think. I think I'm too distracted. Like, the idea of them actually doing it. I'm
but that's
so excited.
The cool thing, isn't it?
It's actually happening. And I imagine that very shortly we'll have international press laughing at us.
Yeah.
Well,
some
will they
be
laughing?
Show is
going to be laughing at us.
Well, those shows, but they will always laugh at us.
Yeah.
At least we've actually given themselves something funny now. This is one country where you can smuggle 8 solar panels without security. But I love that you say that I've got time for people who feel so strongly about something. They're prepared to put themselves on the line.
I mean, that's New Zealand. That's us, right? We do this kind of thing. It's the Kiwi way. We like to protest.
And I also love the fact, Don, that we're not the sort of country that will take the Black Hawk helicopters in there and sort of fire at them.
That's right.
Well, because we're too cheap to buy one, right? Like, we don't have them.
Well, I don't know if it's cheap.
But you're right. We don't shoot them down.
Yeah.
That's absolutely correct. Yeah. And you're right. In the US, they might very well do that.
Yeah. And I mean, they've got a point. They want to make the point. Anyway, we'll continue to follow this. I also like the fact that we've got several sort of barrage of police there who really don't know what's going on and they're trying to communicate with them. I mean, it is a bit Keystone Cops, isn't it? But there's something charming about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at the wood pigeon. I was going to say scandal, but does it scandalise you, Peebles, that someone sort of got wood pigeons?
Well, I mean, I'm just kind of learning, I guess, about the world of wood pigeons. I hadn't really paid much attention.
I know you're young, Amber, but shouldn't you know about wood pigeons?
Oh, no, sorry. I knew about them. Thank you. But I didn't realise that there was a bit of a...
It's a thing.
It was a thing. It was, this... But... I mean, I guess what I was confused about, I thought that they came originally from the North Island, or at least Northland. They've got a flurry up there, but obviously
they're protected.
diminishing.
What you obviously didn't know was that they're protected.
Well, yes, yeah.
Yeah, so they are protected and we're not allowed to shoot them out of the sky or however we take them out of the sky, stick them in their pants and try and repatriate them to a dinner table.
Certainly not fly with them.
But the news was confusing. They talk about smuggling these birds. It's not smuggling them. That's not the issue.
No.
It's killing them.
No. And it's actually not smuggling anyway because there is technically no border between the South and North
Exactly
Island.
right. That's what I was puzzled by.
Yeah, like they've kicked Invercargill out of the country. That's right.
Exactly.
Didn't you know? Oh, sorry.
And in the story it said, in Invercargill, in brackets, in the South Island. Have you ever eaten a pigeon, Don?
No, I haven't. Not any kind of pigeon, actually. No, as far as I know.
Because when you were leading the National Party, I just imagine, because it was quite right-wing when you were leading, I imagine you would all have sort of sat around there tearing pigeons apart, eating them raw.
Yeah, that's right, absolutely.
Them.
I have I mean, I mentioned before... Mike Moore. Mike Moore would instantly have an idea for the lamb burgers.
Yeah,
I mean, how would you feel if we were to set up a farm these things and make money out of them?
Well, I think you made that point earlier. I think it's a very good idea. I mean, similarly, someone suggested farming kiwis. Kiwis will never be extinct if you're farming them.
Absolutely. Whose idea was that? Do you remember?
I think that was Don Turner.
Yeah, it could have been. No, you're right. It could have been, actually. It could have been.
But it's a bit of a side question, though.
Yes.
Can I ask?
Ask me anything at all, Amber.
Good.
Ask Don anything at all.
We've gotten there. Where are all the baby pigeons?
Well, they're in nests, aren't they?
You can't see... Well... But you never see the you never see the baby teenage ones.
Well, how do you know?
Ever.
Do you know what a teenage one looks like?
Well, I imagine they're just smaller than the big mummies and daddies.
Well, I've seen the smallish ones.
Have you?
Yeah.
I feel like this conversation... I've had this conversation before.
Well, who with? Not with me, thank God.
No, that's right. Fine.
All right, Don, good. I've answered. How would you answer that? Where are all the baby wood pigeons?
No, never mind. We can move on.
That's right.
No, that was stellar, Amber, and I'm so glad you're in.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, great.
We will be back with our panel, Amber Peebles and Don Brash, very shortly.
Next to me. Ooh, next to me.
Don Brash, former Reserve Bank Governor, and broadcaster Amber Peebles join us as our commentators this morning. One of the things I wanted to talk about is this idea coming out of Seattle, but a lot of people, Amber, have suggested that this is a good idea, where for years now, one particular rest home, and many of them are doing it, but one of them has done it for many years, has been combined with a daycare facility, like a sort of a kindergarten, and they're saying that the benefits for both the young and old are huge.
I mean, I've been harping on for quite a while now to anyone that would listen, that I think it's so important that we utilise the elderly. I mean, once you don't have a purpose, you just switch off. Mm-hmm. And people are putting off retirement because they don't want to be bundled up, put in a corner, and told to just go and play bingo, So I think, kids have so much, or we all have so much to learn from the elderly. And I think it's also nice because it keeps the families together. You'd have the elderly, you'd have your mum, dad stay somewhere close to you. You drop your kids off in the morning, you pick them up in the afternoon or whatever. You see them. Hi,
you're going to end up seeing your family more.
Nice. It keeps it in a nice circle.
It does seem like a great idea, and I mean, Amber, Don has mentioned the benefits for the children. Apparently, huge benefits for the older people as well.
That's right. But in one sense, we're simply institutionalising something which has been part of human history for a long, long time. I mean, young children tended to be looked after by the grandparents or great-grandparents if they were still alive, while the parents went out to earn a crust. And that's been the pattern. Indeed, it is in some place like China, for example.
And even in Central Europe and places like that, it's very, very common still. But one of the things that they're saying, we're going to talk about this later in the program, is that now we lead such disparate, disassociated lives that a lot of young children don't get the opportunity to spend any time with older people. That's right. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us, Don Brash and Amber Peebles. We will have you back again very soon. Very good.
Cheers.
Go and eat a pigeon, Don. That is your mission for this week. All right.